Welcome to episode 54 of Caleb's Basketball Pod. I'm going to continue my team previews. For this episode, we are going to talk the Oklahoma City Thunder. This team, to me, has all the pieces to be a championship contender. They have all the pieces, in my opinion, to come out of the West. Let's start with a depth chart. This is ESPN's depth chart. I'll throw in where I think it's going to change. But ESPN's depth chart has Shai Gilgeous at the 1, Caruso at the 2, Jalen Williams at the 3, Chet Holmgren at the 4, and Isaiah Hartenstein at the 5. Now, me personally, I don't think that's going to be the starting lineup. I think they're going to bring Caruso off the bench. And I think Dortz will start at the 2-guard position, partly because he's too good of a guard defender to not start. And I would put him on the bench and give guys like Luka Doncic, Anthony Edwards time to heat up before they see him. If they're scoring on him, then that's great. But if you're giving them off time, not to say Caruso can't do his job because he is a all defensive team guard. But I think Dortz is better because he has the size and the body to guard guys like that. So me personally, I would start Dortz at the 2. But on the bench, ESPN has Isaiah Joe, Dortz, as I just spoke on, Carson Wallace, Viatu Jalen Williams, AJ Mitchell. Not a bad bench. I think it'd be better if, like I said, Caruso came off of it and kind of anchored that second unit. And you'll get defense out of it. But I think Oklahoma has all the pieces. I think maybe we're hurt to get a couple 3-and-D guys at the trade deadline. But I think they have all the pieces, to be honest. I think they have everything to come out of the West. They were lacking toughness and rebounding. That's where you go out and get a guy like Isaiah Hartenstein. They were lacking that physical, defensive, point guard type and hustle player. And that's where you go out and get Alex Caruso. I think Oklahoma has all the pieces. Not to mention Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a clinic of a season last year, MVP candidate, and a lot of people's minds, this guy could have been the MVP. That's how good he played. So let's not forget that. Then you have Chet Holmgren. We know he's only going to get better. He had a stellar rookie year last year. Most other rookie seasons, he would have been Rookie of the Year if it wasn't for going head-to-head in the Rookie of the Year race with Victor Wembanyama. That guy was just out of this world, especially defensively for his age and his fourth season in the league. He could have easily been Defensive Player of the Year if San Antonio had a better record. Let's be honest. But then you have Jalen Williams. Let's not forget about him. He stepped up. Not only did he step up last season as a number 2, but he showed up in the playoffs. Like people talk about young players getting in the playoffs and having those hiccups and not used to the moment, not used to the pressure. Jalen Williams still averaged 20 points in the playoffs. This guy showed up much like Shai in the playoffs when it mattered, and they just lost to a more experienced Dallas Mavericks team. But there was nothing to be ashamed of. These guys fought. They have all the pieces because they addressed their weaknesses in the offseason. They went out and got guys like Caruso, like Hartenstein that you needed, and the veteran presence. And they've been on winning teams. Alex Caruso, former NBA champion. You addressed needs that you had. You got these really good players to add to the team. I love the offseason pickups. I think the offseason pickups are enough to put them as favorites, my favorites in the Western Conference. If I had to pick right now, Oklahoma City Thunder would be the before-season team that I would say is coming out of the Western Conference. Of course, there's a lot of basketball we played. We haven't even started the season. But way too early predictions, I would pick the Oklahoma City Thunder to come out of the Western Conference. And I'll get to my East team when I preview them on who I would pick to come out of the Eastern Conference. But this is going to be a good basketball season, folks. We have a lot of really good teams competing on both sides. In the East, we have the Boston Celtics, the New York Knicks, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Milwaukee Bucks, Cleveland Cavaliers. Indiana Pacers could go either way. The Heat could go either way. But there's a lot of competition there. The Orlando Magic, let's not forget they picked up KCP and addressed shooting and kept defense. So that's a huge pickup. In Western Conference, we have the Dallas Mavericks, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. We have the Lakers that could go either way. We have the Denver Nuggets. Clippers may have hit their bump. Not sure how they'll be. We have the Phoenix Suns. They could go up or down. I mean, we just have competitive basketball, and I can't wait to see it. It's going to be a great NBA season, folks. Let's get ready for this. Let's buckle up, because we're going to go on a wild roller coaster ride this season. And honestly, I would say there's 5 or 6 teams that could win the NBA championship, in my opinion. And I would not be surprised if 5 or 6 teams won the championship. And that's odd to say, but the league's just gotten so competitive in the level of talent on every team. Let's wrap up this Oklahoma preview with their win total. They have them at 56.5. I'm going to go over. I'm going to say 57. We're going to say 58. 58 for Oklahoma on it. I think they will be the number 1 seed in Western Conference, and I think they will have a big chance to come out of Western Conference and represent them in the NBA Finals, and that would be huge. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I'm predicting he's going to have another MVP-type season, and this time, I think him or Luka is going to get the MVP award if I predict before the season. Shai or Luka, in my opinion. Thank you for watching this episode. Tune in on Wednesday. Like I said, buckle up. This NBA season is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a roller coaster ride, folks.